Mr. Yoder.
Here.
Mr. Wicker.
Here.
Mr. Bishop.
Here.
Mr. Plough. Here. He's coming. He's coming. It takes a while. He walks slow. Always here. And Mr. Mayor. Always here. Always
Good government. All right, we can proceed. The first item on the agenda is consider approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held Thursday, January the 5th, 2017.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Yoder. Yes. Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Mr. Masterson.
Here.
Mr. Wicker.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Plough. Yes. Unanimous, Judge.
Nice going.
The agenda is Lindsay, you, with Springhaven is here to discuss domestic violence in Marion County. It's my understanding that we might have one of the worst counties in the state as far as that goes, so.
And I brought a map here to show you. I just want to say thank you for letting me come back to the meeting. I think I was here last year around this time, maybe in April or something, I think. I don't think I see all the maps that I was here last time, but some of you all did. So thank you for letting Springhaven come back and talk to them. I think, well, I'll give you this map to look over.
That's fine. That's fine.
You can see Marion County right here, and the darker the color, the higher incidence of domestic violence where children are involved, which is not good.
Yeah.
And that came from central intake data from CPS. Springhaven, I think you all know all of this, but we cover all the counties in the Lincoln Trail Area Development District. I serve as an outreach advocate for Marion and Washington counties. So we provide legal advocacy and emergency financial advocacy, individual counseling, court order counseling. Court often. I originally started splitting my time when I started this position in Marion and Washington to try to split it equally. I'm here now about 90% of the time in Marion County. The need is much greater here than I have found it to be in Washington County. That's not to say there's not a need in Washington County, because there is, but there's a significant need here in Marion County.
How many did you help with last year?
Last fiscal year, in Marion County alone, when I was here last time, I reported that Springhaven, the number of services was 1,265, and at the end of this fiscal year, it was 2,121.
That much of an increase?
When you say, I think to help everyone out, myself as well as the court and judge, but when you say services, could you kind of tell us exactly what those services are so we understand exactly what?
Economic stability advocacy and services, so that might be helping someone find a job, giving them a referral to the Career Center, different temp agencies. Emergency financial advocacy and services, we can provide a food box, we can provide clothing, box of toiletries, follow-up contacts. So a lot of times we don't hear anything for a little while, we touch base and make sure that everybody's still doing okay. Housing advocacy, finding housing, or putting a certain amount of funds towards like housing authority. I work with them, we give them some checks to help out with rental assistance. Individual counseling services, so that could be court-ordered counseling or victims who contact us and they just want to learn more about domestic violence and the cycle of abuse and power and control so that they can get out of that cycle. Offering shelter, legal advocacy, so appearing in court with them or giving them referrals to other legal resources. We have a legal aid attorney now. Her name is Cassie Chambers. She works strictly with Springhaven clients at this time to help them with custody issues or divorce action, which has been really, really good. And she got I will not remember the name of her grant or the funding that she'll be with Springhaven for 2 years. So she's been with us about 6 or 7 months now, I believe. Referrals to other agencies, offering shelter, transportation services, and that's just in Marion County, those numbers.
That 2,100, how many of those are duplicate, the same families, or is that all different families
Those are
or
not-
cases?
Those are the number of people, those are the number of services provided. So they might be, with one individual client, we may help with housing advocacy, legal advocacy, a referral, emergency financial stability, different services to one client. Absolutely. We have a child advocate at the shelter, so I know lately it seems kind of a trend where when children are involved, we can do a referral to the child advocate, and they go there to Elizabeth County, to the shelter, meet with the child advocate, get an assessment to see what future services are needed based on the problem they
How do you guys work with, or do you work with the, for example, the court here, I'm sure you're aware, funds the Spouse Abuse Center here in Marion County. We fund 100% of that, basically, or 90% or better. Do you work with them any, or do you know, are you familiar with them?
The Caring Place?
Caring
Yes.
Place, yeah.
So we are not affiliated with the
Right, I
Caring
understand
Place. Each ad district has a primary domestic violence program site. So there's 15 in the state, Lincoln Trails, Area Development District's program, domestic violence program site is Spring Haven.
Okay.
So we are 85% funded through state and federal grants and 15% from other contributions, donations. And
Well, I understand, but I'm
I
just,
work with, I have seen and met with and serve on the Marion County Heartland State Community Coalition with members of the Caring Place. So we will sometimes do referrals or take referrals at shelter from them. Maybe someone's here in Marion County, they want to get out of this county because it's not, they don't feel safe here. And we can take the referral and try to get them to shelter.
yeah, I mean, it seems like it would make sense that you would work with them quite a bit, seeing how they actually have housed individuals and so forth, and trying to provide them with services. So I just thought maybe you'd work with them extensively, or quite a bit.
Not, just because I guess maybe because we're two separate entities. I have worked with them. I totally support what they're doing. I
Sure.
think it's wonderful, and there's a need there for more than
Yeah.
one
Yeah, I understand.
domestic violence program. That's
We
one
take
thing.
them from all counties too, don't we?
I think we take them from primarily 5 counties, I think it is. 5 counties, and Washington County is one of those, but that we actually receive or offer shelter for, so.
Let me ask you this question. If a family or an individual, whatever, be it man, woman, child, whatever, use one of these agencies, can they use multiple agencies?
Sure. We get.
Like Spring Haven and the Caring Place, like that, they can use more than one agency?
They can be at the Caring Place and contact Spring Haven and still be able to come to Spring Haven Shelter if they needed to do that. I've worked with just recently a client in Washington County who showed up with a representative from the Caring Place, put her in touch with the legal aid attorney so that she could get started on a divorce, even though she's not technically a Spring Haven resident. And most of the clients that I work with in Marion County are not residents of the shelter there in
Right.
Elizabethtown. It's just outreach services, almost primarily.
So the funding at other counties, typically, what are other counties doing?
So right now, there are only 2 of the 8 counties that we serve, that 2 fiscal courts that contribute, and I don't know which one's which, but it's LaRue and Nelson, and they contribute $5,000 and $2,500. And I have that written down, but I believe it's in my car. I'll be happy to go look and put it down.
No, that's fine.
No, that's fine. We just wondering kind of what, across the board, what's going on.
We do, in October, we did Shop and Share at Kroger, where people came in, they could go into Kroger and buy certain items, bring those items back. We took them directly to the shelter, so it was a governor's initiative, partnership with Kroger, something they did there. We had I've got photos here if you all want to see these. We did a In Her Shoes Domestic Violence Awareness Month race where the Sheriff's Department we got runner-up with the Healing Place, and
Yeah.
they ran in heels. And
Was
they made the-
Sheriff Clements in on that? I saw him running.
He was. They really, the Healing Place, they won. They
was it-
said that they just had experience running from the law.
I thought that was Deputy Daring.
Well, he's there also.
Doesn't he wear,
He was riding that dog.
I was Sheriff Clemens,
It was one of them, yeah.
I was Sheriff Clemens' personal trainer.
Yeah, I could tell the way he was running like, yeah, I could tell.
It was a really good event. It brought a lot of different community partners together just to raise awareness. We didn't try to raise funds. I didn't try to ask everybody to bring money to participate in this. It just was just to raise awareness for domestic violence awareness.
Some of the people even having a heart attack.
Let me ask you this, would you, and thank you for coming, because obviously, I mean, that's a much-needed service, and it sounds like it needs to be advertised, and people need to be aware of. You might want to get with the paper or with Channel 6 and maybe do some informational spots in regards to.
And I'd be happy to do that again, of course.
Yeah, okay. But I guess, you know, we run on a fiscal year budget, so I guess my thought is that if the judge is willing to work with us in the court, is that maybe we look at this when we do our upcoming budget to see if we can allocate some funding of some type?
What are you asking? Are you asking me if that's okay with me? Is that-
Yeah, that's basically, that's my thought. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, that's what I'm saying.
One of the big needs right now, as you can see, is children affected by domestic violence. We know that little boys who grow up in a home where there's domestic violence have a higher rate of growing up to be offenders or batterers, and little girls have a higher rate of growing up to be victims. So now we see that how many children are witnessing this and how it's a really high number in Marion County. Something's got to be done.
Yeah.
I'm doing programs, freshman health classes, dating violence prevention, just your standard PowerPoint. I have a director with Judd Films, and he's willing to do a PSA for, he said, next to nothing. Usually he gets $4,000 to $5,000 that he do make whatever work. He could film it all in one day. We could get it out for February, which is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. I'm really hoping to do that. I've spoken with the coalition as well to get that to air at the cinema prior to the movies. It's like $2,800.
I'm sure that Mr. White could probably do something with you on a PSA for much less than that, actually.
To get it to air before the movie.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, just plugging Mr. White over there. So,
I think with that one, you have to actually, it's the cinema.
Yeah, I
and they
understand.
contract with.
right.
Right. And obviously, we'll take all the help that we can get. I know when I was here last year, we kind of sure.
I'd like to go ahead and do 500 myself out of my funds, and next year I would like to, we'll talk about putting it in the budget possibly and supporting a little bit more. So,
Judge, I'd like to add 250 out of my project funds as well.
I'll do 250 as well.
That's, I'd like to donate 500 out of mine for the same project. Is there a, like, since we're in Marion County, it is the highest, is there any way you track where all the money goes or spent, or is that it just goes into the program, or? I know.
If you all want these funds to go towards targeting teen dating violence awareness and prevention.
In Marion County, in Marion County. There you go. That's the key phrase right there, in Marion County.
Or any good project in Marion County, you know, since it is community project money, and if there's a way we can designate for it to be used in Marion County, then.
Sure, and I'm happy to bring you all a financial report showing how funds were spent. I'm more than happy, I can leave my cards again if you need my numbers. If you have suggestions on how you'd like these funds to be spent, or I'm open to.
Well, I think as Master Quell, I think what we would like to see is that, and I'm sure the judge would agree, that the funds that we provide, we often, since it's Marion County taxpayer funds, we would like to see that money earmarked for Marion County, is what we're saying. Okay.
Yeah, if that's possible, okay.
Yeah.
I do.
I was just gonna say, if that's possible, that way, you know, it's, and also, it'll be a while before we redo our budget anyway, so this will help you move on.
That's wonderful. I appreciate this a lot.
I'll do,
Can I please
please
get
do.
in?
I'll do 200, Kevin.
Masters?
I would like for you to allow me to contribute 300, please.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
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 Thank you all very much.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for what you do.
Yeah, and let me say, if you could send the judge some specific information that pertains specifically to I'm sorry?
On the field, when you do the run a day in our shoes, John Elwood is a copy of that day.
I'd love to. I think I'm out of town that day. But anyway, if you could send, thank you, Lisa. If you could send the judge some
Way to go,
specific
Lisa.
information in regards to Marion County, some specific data, as opposed to just generic whole data, that would be great, and share it with us. I think that would help your cause a long way with the court.
Absolutely, I can do that, I can send you everything but names.
Yeah, I don't want
Every
to.
month
Yeah.
we do monthly
It's the city's
statistics,
with us.
new clients
doing it all.
versus continuing clients, so I'm happy to get the numbers right.
Yeah, the more you can give us, if we're talking about maybe budgeting something, it'd be beneficial to the project.
I'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come.
Good job, Lisa.
Don't you think, Jimmy? Jimmy. All right, Judge.
Thank you, Lindsay. Appreciate it. Item number 3, a couple of weeks ago, I put a packet put some information in your packet about the multipurpose building. The third item is consider approval to advertise the RFP for the multipurpose building. This is just a process to bid it out and see who is interested and about where it's going to be.
Get some budgetary figures.
No cost to us.
No
right?
cost to us. The city's already agreed to do the same, agreed to support it, and also tourism, so.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Bishop. Yes. Mr. Crowder.
Yes.
Mr. Wicker. Yes. Mr. Masters.
Yes.
Unanimous.
One quick, Miss Lindsay, before you leave, did you say you had some cards, or can you send some to the judge sometime if you don't have them with you? Just,
I've got them with me.
yeah, just, in case my wife picks on me, I need someone to call.
Yeah, drop that off.
Well, I'll just sometime.
Can we get special treatment for it in there?
You know, I kind of like how she went to that side of the table. I mean,
And we look brutal over
Yeah,
here.
you guys do. It's the nice side of the table here, the love.
They are my
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If we took a vote on that, or.
Yes, sir.
What you need on that?
Item number 4, consider approval of the second annual installment of the Fire Department Rescue Squad funds.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Crowder.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Mr. Masters.
Yes.
Mr. Wicker.
Second.
Mr. Quinn.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Item number 5. Consider approval of funds to support the Loretto Youth League annual program.
Motion.
Mr. Masters.
Yes.
What's it,
2,500?
Mr. Wicker.
Yes.
Mr. Elder.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Item number 6, Jimmy's got this in his report too, also. Consider approval to remove old building at the transfer station.
Motion.
Second.
You are tearing that down yourself, right, Jimmy?
Mr. Elder.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop. Yes. Mr. Masters.
Yes.
Mr. Quinn.
Yes.
Unanimous.